Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Wednesday, January 26th, and I've been up a while already. It is 8:54 a.m. here. I have a job today. We have work the rest of the week. My job today starts at 10:30, and I've been up since like 5:30. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why I was awake at that early in a minute. But yesterday, nothing came in yesterday for work until about 5:30. And luckily I was up here stitching because I wouldn't have seen the email otherwise until like really late. So I was scrambling to find people. And I had texted my boss like 2 times during the day and I got no response. And I was like, okay. And then I texted her about today's job and still no response, and I'm just like, all right. And so I'm talking to Bill about it, and he's like, well, does she usually respond to you? And I'm like, yeah, it may not be immediate, but I usually get a response most of the time, especially if I ask a question. And so it's like, I don't know, right before I'm going to bed, like 10 o'clock, and I check my email one more time when I'm downstairs, and she sends me an email about today's job, telling me the time and everything. And I'm like, so I write her back and I say, I texted you about this hours ago. And then she didn't respond until much later, and I was already sleeping. And so I get up this morning and I see her response, and she's like, oh, well, I was sending you that because I see the time said 8:30 in ClickUp instead of 9:30. And I was like, I swore I put the right time, but I didn't. It was not the right time. So I fixed that, and then she said, oh, and I won't have my phone until tomorrow. Well, you might have wanted to tell me that. So that's why I didn't get any responses. So she's going to get her phone. It's going to be like blowing up because she's going to have all these text messages, I'm sure, from other people. Yeah. So yeah, today is like the first day we have had like a regular job in a long time. I mean, it's been since like August of last year. So it should be interesting because we're so used to the people in the arbitration, right? But yeah, so working today, tomorrow, Friday. We are due to get snow Friday to Saturday again, like 3 inches or something. So it's nice that it's on a weekend because Bill will be here. He won't have to work, all of that. So before I get into my stitching and why I was awake so early this morning, I did receive a wonderful gift yesterday from Joanne Helm. She has sent me many things over these so many years that I've been doing this channel. And she sent a lovely card. Oh my God, right? So there was 3 boxes in this big box. 2 of them were for me. One said for Jill, and I was floored, and it's a mug. So I popped that in the mail to Jill. That's going out to her today. And I texted her and she was like, oh my God. Like, she was just so excited. So the mug is very cute. So, but Joanne, here's the 2 mugs she got me. Are you even kidding me right now? And look, it's on both sides, which I love because half the time, if there's a design, I'm drinking it and nobody can see the design because I'm looking at it. And then this one has to be my favorite one. First of all, it's purple. And it says fucking magical, like, and it's a unicorn. Are you kidding me right now? Joanne, thank you so much. Like, I need a mug like I need a hole in the head, but these are both so utterly fantastic. And I've been using my Ember mug, but I've been using my regular mugs more and more often because I love them so very much. So Joanne, thank you so very much. Okay. So last night I sat down to, I started listening to season 3 of Something Was Wrong podcast. Good God. And then I realized my earbuds were downstairs charging. So I was like, I'm not running downstairs. So I started stitching. So I got done the red and I started stitching the center of the flower. And I'm like, that's not enough of a difference, right? It's not enough of a difference because this color is the main part of the flower, and then the center is this orange color. So this morning I was up and I came up here and I said, I got to pick a more contrasting color. I had originally picked a teal, but I decided against that. So I'm going to be tearing this out very carefully. And what's so nice about the markup app is that I was able to go in there today and unhighlight this whole section. So it's like I didn't even stitch it. The color that I picked. So the original pattern, this is Ink Circles Dilly Dahlia. The original pattern called for the flower was shades of purple. I think the purple is going to look fantastic up against that orange, because remember, this orange is going to be the center. It's going to look so good. So I will be revising in the description box. This is Sulky one, my God, my eyes. 1226. So, but yeah, I have to tear that out. And someone had asked a question, and I know I said it in a video. This I made into a needle minder to hold my scissors. I just glued, because I have a bunch of those little magnets that people use for needle minders. I just glued it on the back with super glue. That's it. And then I have a bunch of these like other magnets with button covers on the back. And because I've learned my lesson now, I put a little piece of paper in between the needle minder and my fabric, because no more am I going to have black marks. And I don't know why that's being, I wanted to say it's being a little bitch now. It usually sits just fine. There we go. Yeah, I like having everything like at my fingertips, like on the fabric. Okay, so, but the bigger news. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that was my daddy calling. So I talked to him for a good 20 minutes. We might get interrupted by Bill calling me because I haven't talked to him yet this morning. But what I wanted to say about switching that color on the Ink Circles piece is the great thing about cross stitch, or about any craft, you can change your mind anytime you want to. In the middle of stitching it, you don't like it, rip it out, do a new color. So yeah, there are no rules, right? Okay, so I've had over, I don't know, it's probably been ever since I've started my channel, because I have been blessed with being able to purchase many, many craft supplies. I had someone message me, and I've had people message me over the past couple of months because I've purchased all of these different kinds of stands. And this person said, you know, I haven't heard you talk about your dubco stand in a while. Something along the lines of, if you don't want it anymore, I would like to buy it from you. And I was talking to Jill about it. And she said, if you talked about everything that you have constantly, she's like, you would never stop talking. And she's right. Just because I'm not talking about something doesn't mean I want to get rid of it. Oh my God, hold on. Okay, can I get through this video without 800 people calling me? That was my dad again. He's trying to get a hold of my mother. And he's like, it keeps going to voicemail. Okay, I'll tell her to call you. So, all right. But yeah, you can, okay, what I was talking about, people asking me for stuff. So, yeah, just because I'm not mentioning something doesn't mean I don't want it or I'm not using it. The dubco stand, for me, is for hoops. So if I choose to stitch something on a hoop, I will definitely be using that stand because it's so utterly fantastic. So yes, I'm not interested in selling it. Trust me, if I'm interested in selling anything crafty related, you guys will be the first to know because I will mention it on a video. Okay, but the reason why I was up so early. So when I get up with Bill and I make his lunch, sometimes I'll just lay down and go right back to sleep, but other times I'll check email, I'll check Facebook, I was checking my Facebook groups, and this is why I belong to so many cross-stitch groups on Facebook. Someone was asking the question, like, what do you do with your smalls? We know that I have had the huge conundrum or constantly been trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my cross-stitch smalls projects, because I got no goddamn wall space anymore, right? And I have the scrapbook and I've done a bunch of that and I really enjoy that. But somebody in the comments said, I've been putting mine in a junk journal like Michelle Bendy Stitchy. I was like, what? So I went to Michelle Bendy Stitchy's channel, and she has 3 different videos about junk journaling. And it's not even called, she doesn't even call it that. where she puts her small finishes into a journal that someone has handmade. And the person that hand makes her journal, the main one that she has, is Angela, and she's on Instagram. I will link her Instagram down below. I think it's amdrake63, but I messaged Angela because I wanted to see if she was going to be listing any journals anytime soon, and she's currently moving, so it's going to be a while. But she will post them on Instagram for sale, and they usually go pretty quick because Michelle Bendy Stitchy's, oh my God, it's so awesome. And what I like about it is that it's not perfect. It's not perfectly all nice and neat. It just looks authentic and genuine is the best way that I can say it. And there's no pressure like to make it perfect. Michelle flipped through hers and showed hers, and then one of her videos, she actually showed how she did a page. Absolutely obsessed now with it. So here I am. I go to the mecca of all things handmade, which we know what that is. That's Etsy, right? And I looked, I want to say for 45 minutes because I'm like, I need to find a junk journal to do this. I need to do this because when I really stop and think about it, I love to stitch smalls. I just don't know what to do with them, right? And having this journal, it will let me still use my scrapbook embellishments and paper. And I mean, Michelle even writes on her pages, she'll journal about the piece. What if she changed the floss color, her thoughts about the piece. That is something, that is a memory that I would absolutely love to have. And the book, oh my God, I'm obsessed. And then she showed a Halloween one that she won. Dude, I love the Halloween one, like for Halloween finishes. So yes, I know I am really trying to call my spending, not spending, and I've done really good here in the past like week or so. But I bought 2 journals. So I bought one journal that is, both are from Etsy. One journal, I'm not going to tell you exactly or show you until it comes in because this one spoke to me. Because it reminds me of my sweet little puppy, Layla, that we had to put down a couple years ago. So that journal is coming from Canada. So that's going to take a little bit. It says expected by February 16th. And then the other one, I bought a Halloween one because I want to put just Halloween. Oh my God, wait till you see these journals. They are going to be so utterly fantastic. I can't wait. It makes you, watching Michelle's videos, it makes you want to stitch all the small things, literally. And I figure if I stitch small stuff like that, I will just be able to have the satisfaction of finishing something, right? It's been a while since I finished a cross stitch piece. It's been since like summer, I think. I mean, that's just crazy pants, right? So I'm so very excited to embark on that. And then if I want to stitch anything bigger, I will do what I said. I'll put it on my door with the hook and all of that. But the journal, wait till you see. I mean, there are some very talented people. Now, these journals aren't cheap. Because think about it. Every page is handmade. These people are hand making these things. It takes time. It takes materials. So, excuse me. So this stuff is not inexpensive, but man, is it oh so worth it, because if these journals, I'm sure those pictures do not do them justice. So stay tuned for that, because, and I'll even probably maybe show you how I do a page. The journals aren't 12 by 12. They're like 6. One of them is, I think, 6 by 9. Let me see what the size of this one is. I don't know, but they're not, that's why you put smalls in there. But Michelle's been doing it for a while because she has quite a bit of pages in it, and it looks so fantastic. I messaged her on her, I left a comment and said, you know, you're like my complete inspiration on this. It's so fantastic. So I will link down below all 3 of Michelle's videos that I found on her channel regarding it if you want to take a peek, because holy hell, we might be starting a revolution here with people doing these journals. It is a way to have a pretty small footprint, because I could put both journals right there on top of that little cabinet thing I bought. Okay, so today's little inspirational story, it's pretty short, but it is Very good. I've already scanned it. It's called Two Apples. A lovely little girl was holding 2 apples with both hands. Her mom came in and softly asked her little daughter with a smile, "My sweetie, could you give your mom one of your 2 apples?" The girl looked up at her mom for some seconds. Then she suddenly took a quick bite on one apple and then quickly took another bite on the other one. The mom felt the smile on her face freeze, right? Because you're like, why the fuck are you biting both apples when I asked you for one? And the mom tried hard not to reveal her disappointment, like, I can't believe you just took a bite out of both apples. Then the little girl hands one of the bitten apples to her mom and says, "Mommy, here you are. This is the sweeter one." Oh my God, right? So the mom was quick to judge, right? So the moral of that short little story, no matter who you are, how experienced you are, and how knowledgeable you think you are, always delay judgment. Definitely easier said than done. Give others the privilege to explain themselves. What you see may not be the reality. Never conclude for others. And you know, the example with my boss and her cell phone is a perfect example, because automatically I'm thinking, okay, hours go by. I'm like, she's not responding. She doesn't care. She doesn't want to respond. I have no value. That's not the case at all. She didn't have her phone. Right? So yeah, sometimes you have to do a little bit of investigating. So I absolutely love that story because yeah, the girl was giving the mother the better apple. Yeah. So yes, that's probably a lesson we could all take, is less judgment, right? Easier said than done, for sure. Okay, so how are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? If you're someone who relies on hope to make it through your life, ditch the hope and start taking some new actions. It might be scary and hell even painful, but it's far more likely to get the job done than the Novocaine of hope you're currently applying to the most challenging parts of your life. And you know, I am reading a book in addition to the book Do You Remember Which? Oh my God, that book. I am reading a book called The Lazy Genius Way by Kendra Adaki. And she talks about how focusing on things or investing your energy in things that really matter to you and being lazy about other things that don't matter so much to you, instead of trying to care about every single thing in the entire world. And she talks about, the chapter I just read today talks about taking small steps. And the example she gave was she's always wanted to do yoga. So she bought all the stuff. She bought the blocks and the straps and the mat and the yoga clothing and all of that, and said, I'm going to do yoga 30 minutes a day for 4 days a week. And she said, never once did I do that. She said, so I started small. She said, and by starting small, she said, I did 1 yoga pose a day. She did downward facing dog. Took her 5-10 seconds. And she did this for 14 months. And she said one day she went to do it and she realized that she was more limber. Her feet were fat because her feet weren't able to be flat on the floor apparently when she first started doing it. And she was like, it is truly the small things that wind up over time and consistency amassing into big things. And another little example, so my mom will send me like videos on Facebook and things like that. And she sent me something today where this girl makes these vintage lampshades. And my mom's like, wow, this is so amazing. I would love to be able to do something like this. And what I responded back to my mother, I said, I believe we all have creativity in us. It is just finding what we're creative in. I said, you have to realize that woman's journey, she didn't start off being able to make these beautiful masterpieces right from the get-go. It takes time. Her journey may have taken years to get to that point. And I said, another good example is that you have to start small. Start small. Hold on. Good night. I've been interrupted 3 times. That was Bill calling. So hopefully nobody else will call me because I've talked to everybody that I talked to in the morning. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, about doing one small little change. So I was talking about the crafting to my mother, and I said, you know, there are people that have messaged me many times and said, oh, I would love to have my walls covered like you do with all of my stitching. It's taken me 10 years to do that. So the stuff is not immediate. That's why I say, you know, small attainable goals that you can consistently accomplish. Stitching for 10 minutes. I mean, you will eventually have something done. Me stitching every night, I mean, has gotten to the point where I have quite a bit done on that piece. I mean, for only working on it for like 45 minutes or an hour. But I told my mom, you know, find something you're interested in and start small. Just take the first step. Try to do it. I mean, she's retired and she's not hurting for money. I said, so she's got like the wherewithal, like, just try it, Mom. Like, I really think she could be really good at something if she just tried something. You know what I mean? So, okay. I'm going to get off of here. Oh, something not fun that I did this morning. There is a raccoon or something living under Bill's shed. And so we had more trash than usual this week. So we emptied the trash last night, and Bill put the bag like outside of our back door instead of in the can because the can was filled. So I'm the one that takes the bins out on Wednesdays. Trash day is Thursday. So when I take the bins out, now I noticed a couple days ago, one of the bags in the trash can was like torn open. And I'm like, did Bill throw something away and then he regretted it, or he was looking for something? I thought he tore open the bag, so I didn't think anything of it. Well, this morning I take the can around and I come back to get the bag that was at the bottom of the steps out our back door. It's all torn open and there's trash all over the bottom. And I went, oh my, light bulb went off. Something is getting in the trash. And then I noticed the bag that was on the very top of the can also had a hole torn in it. And I'm like, oh my God. So I have to rebag what was at the bottom of the stairs into a new trash bag. And so I texted Bill, but sometimes his reception is work. He doesn't get texts or phone calls. So when he called me, I said, did you get my text message? He's like, no. And so I explained it to him, and he's like, oh my God, I saw that bag in the can and I thought you had gotten into it. And I'm like, I thought you had gotten into it. So I said, we have to find a way to tamp down the lid where nothing's getting into it. Bill thinks it's a raccoon. So he said, I'll just bungee it. So I'm hoping, because I said we can't consistently have something getting in the trash because we're going to be cleaning it up every week and I can't have that. And I realize that it's cold out, so food is scarce. I get it, but you can't be digging in our trash because that's going to be a hot fucking mess. We're going to be cleaning up all the time. So I'm hoping that the trash men tomorrow will take the bag that is ripped open, because if not, I told Bill, I said, you and I are going to have to clean that up. Just FYI. So at least he's aware. But it was so funny that we both thought that each of us had gotten into the trash can, which is hilarious. So, okay, I'm going to end here. I know this video was sort of all over the place with so many interruptions, but that is life, right? That is my daily life. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic Wednesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.